I don't have a joke, but I actually have a more powerful version of the last story, which I just had the luck of training with a wonderful Jita named Jason Quinn, and he told this story, so it's Jason's story. It was a social worker, and the social worker saw that the daughter in the family had to be taken out of the family because the father had a history of violence. Okay? And the father found out who this social worker was, and he was coming to meet her to argue against this. This was like a court order. She, as a social worker, had put in the request to the judge, and the judge said, yes, I see the evidence. This daughter has to come out of the family somewhere else. And this husband, the father, was a policeman, a big man with a history of angry violence. So for a social worker, this is like a very bad situation for anybody. And the social worker is sitting and saying, okay, if he says this, I'll say this. If he says this, I'll say this. She's getting all the arguments lined up. This is the law. I'm following the law. Everything is done according to the proper protocols, getting all the rational arguments. But as the time got closer, the possibility of this big guy coming and confronting her with anger she became so upset that all her arguments just evaporated, just disappeared. Her mind became completely empty. And this policeman then shows up, and her mind is clear, just empty. And she's looking at him, and she says something very, very profound. She says, "Oh, you must love your daughter very much to be so angry." And the policeman just burst into tears. So she saw right into his heart. And then again, just like that, the whole situation just calmed down. So no technique, right? No fancy arguments and all that. Just that she saw his heart. And it was like, for the first time, he said, someone actually understands me. So that is power. That is real power.